Woo! We're back.
Brother,
What's going on, everybody?
we've been hanging and banging, brother. We've been hanging and banging, brother.
Hit that
What
thing
is
loud.
up? Yes, sir. Oop,
Oh, man.
Hmm?
You already did it.
there we go. Hello, party people.
What's going on, everybody?
We are the Gatekeepers. My name is Dan.
I'm Billy.
How's it going, internet? We have a podcast. It is all about fencing, tips,
Ticks?
We forgot to hit record. Tips, tricks, tools, and techniques. What is good, everybody? We are your hosts, Dan and Billy, and this is the Gatekeepers podcast. Welcome to our live stream. We have a very, very, very special guest here today. One of the absolute greatest in the industry.
Should probably turn my phone on vibrate too, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I was like, I should probably do that. But yeah, we have one of the greatest to ever hit the fence line, and this man is Victor Vazquez, just an absolute legend,
VV, baby.
absolute killer. VV is just nasty with it.
Yeah, man.
And he will be on shortly. In the meantime, as we always do, we like to catch up on our week, how each of us have been doing, keep some humanity to the internet here.
Yeah.
How have you been doing, Billy?
Pretty good, bro. This week was this past week was pretty good. Cold as shit outside for Florida.
For Florida.
I know you, VV, are working down there in the snow and or up there in the snow, but us Florida boys, we're not prepared for 20-degree weather. It was cold last week.
Yeah, especially driving a bike in that. Ooh.
Hey man,
Hands
that's
go numb instant.
You know, I wouldn't have a motorcycle for my daily. No, brother. No.
And
I'm just not there yet.
I also have to drive them for work. So
Yeah, true.
I got to test drive them.
True.
So it's part of the job.
How was your week?
Man, it was good. It was good. Just got another order for 2 more gate frames. I'm going to be doing some welding this week, which is going to be sick. Also just landed another contract for wrapping the whole front face of a local brewery. Shout out to Beardless Brew House. If you are in the Milton or Pace location, they have 2, which is what
giant big gold thing right there
sipping on here today. Beardless Brew House. They are rad. Beers are great. My wife also happens to work there. So
yeah. Pretty cool place.
Yeah.
I've been there with you twice now?
Yeah.
Twice, yeah, man.
It's pretty
cool,
good, man. They got some wild beers. Everything is made in-house. It's pretty rad.
Yeah, it is.
But I got a new job doing their vinyl for their front face. That's just kind of part of the name of the fabrication thing is I just make stuff. So that's rad. Yeah. I also Sunday picked up a new motorcycle.
I know. I just saw it today whenever I got here.
Yeah, the battery was dead, unfortunately.
I mean, it's all right.
It's a 1977 bike. So
you know what I need to do?
Registered as an antique.
I need to take a picture of it and send it to my dad because he'll be like, I know exactly what that is because he's a huge Harley guy. And that's whenever, because his first bike was a 73 Sportster. So that's right around the same time. And I remember him talking about, all them Chinese and Jap bikes started coming out around the same time. So I'm going to definitely take a picture of it and send it to him.
It was one of the quote unquote super bikes of the 70s. It's a not that far from a super bike in today's standards.
Yeah, absolutely.
Far from it. But it is a 1977 Suzuki GS 750. She's got she needs a lot of love. She wasn't running when I got her. Within 24 hours, I got her to run, took her to work today, drove her back home, no problems. Took her out to the store to go grab some stuff after work as well. And it's been good.
Nice, man.
She needs a lot of work. I'm only using 3 out of 4 cylinders. But carb kit came in, so gonna be working on that. That's gonna be a fun project.
There we go.
But without further ado,
let's do it.
Let's bring on the GOAT himself.
Let's get straight to it, baby.
Mr. VV. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, brother? We can barely hear you.
Barely, yeah.
Let's see if we can turn up your mic volume. There we go. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, no.
Nope.
automatically. There we go.
There we go.
All
All
right,
right,
go
try
ahead.
again.
What about now? Oh, you're super soft now.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. You're still really low.
So if you look at the bottom here, there should be like a settings thing. Go to audio and check what your audio is coming in through, because it could be like not the headphones or not the laptop or whatever you're having.
Microphone. What about
Hey,
that?
We can hear
my
you now.
man, what's good?
Nothing much, man. Just working. Well, not working anymore, but just hanging out.
Yeah,
Heck
dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Heck
You
yeah.
guys are just absolute beasts down there.
Yeah, I mean, we try. We try. We definitely try.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So what's up,
All right.
guys?
Well, I mean, let's get like straight into it. So I've never heard your story of how you got into the fence industry, when you got into it. So let's just get right to it. How and when did you get into the fence industry?
So I want to say it was about 20 plus years ago. So I was 17 at the time. I was 17, and now I'm 38. So 21 years ago, I started working with my brother, and I worked under him for about 8 months. Then after that, I started running my own crew, and that's how I got into it.
Yeah. Man.
Okay. All right. So there was a little bit of talk on one of the pages that you said that you cut a fence to get into the country. Is that true, or were you just messing with us?
No, it's not true. I mean, yes, I came here hiding and sneaking, but I did not cut any fences. That was just good content.
Oh yeah,
just to
absolutely,
make,
it was
Excellent.
good
yeah,
content.
just
I
to
build
make a
them,
lot
not
of
take them down.
a lot of jokes with Kevin and Steve when he was here. I will always say that, he asked me because, we always doing vinyl. And every time he will get a chain link project, he will ask, do you even know how to do chain link? I'm like, boy, you even know how I got here? And then that's how that whole thing started. Like, I work on a chain
Okay.
link fence before I even got here.
So
That's
But yeah.
hilarious.
most of us probably know, just because you are VV. But for those of you, for those people watching who don't know, where are you located right now? What's your company? Tell us about that.
So we are located in Salt Lake, Utah. So state of Salt Lake. We do travel for work. We travel a lot to Idaho, Washington State, and up until 5 years ago, we spent a great deal of time in the East Coast, meaning Texas, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, Alabama. This is why I always say, you tropical boys, you guys have it easy. You guys have
Oh
it
man, I'm
easy.
telling you what, bro. Telling you what,
Every
man.
time.
We don't have to deal with snow. There's a little bit of ice on
Yeah.
the cars here and there when it's like real cold. Like I had some frost on the car the other day, and that was the most I've ever had to deal with. So y'all are up there working in the snow and everything, and just killing it. Like that's still wild to me.
Oh, dude, we are not.
I'm born and raised in South Florida. The coldest it gets down there is like maybe 60 degrees once a year, and that's it. So like moving up to Pensacola area, I'm like, yo, this is freaking freezing, dog. I can't imagine working in the snow. I'm just not used to it.
You do have to get used to it because whenever I was younger and I moved up to DC, I moved up there at the wrong time. I moved the day after Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So it was going into the winter.
Right into it.
I'm a Florida boy. I get a job outside digging for like an underground boring company, right?
Mm-hmm.
My first winter out there was absolutely fucking brutal. Like I was in those Carhartt like zip up like coveralls. I had a jacket over that, a jacket over that. I could barely even move. Man, they made fun of me for like the entire time that I worked there. Because after I got used to it, next winter, I shed a lot of those layers.
Yeah.
And I was outside, and they were like, "Where's all your jackets at, Florida boy?" Like, man, if y'all don't shut the hell up, man. Like I came from Florida where it was like 70, 80 degrees
Yeah.
in October, and we're at like 30 degrees in November. I was not used to it, but
No.
yeah, I mean, I'm not with the cold. I like being a tropical boy.
It's nice and warm here, man.
Yeah,
Nice
it's
and warm
nice and warm. Yeah, it's
So
not even the warm. It's the sun digging.
yeah,
It's the sun digging.
yeah. It's
And I
it's
get
bright.
it. It's probably roots and stuff like that. But every time we went to Florida, we never hit anything such as rocks or roots.
Depending
I
on the yard, you do get
rocks are few and far between, man. If you hit something that's a rock, it's probably an old concrete fence slug.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Here,
Like
we
a
don't
lot of those cut at the base and just leave the slug.
we don't have boulders and stuff like that. Now I will say where we live, we're in like a quad city area, so there's a very vast difference in the digging conditions in every single one of those cities. Like obviously the closer that you get to the coast, the easier it is. But then once you start moving up north towards Alabama, it starts being that red rock clay at the end of it. So, some of them are cake, like a lot of them are cake, but some of them are not easy. I mean,
Gotcha.
you got like guys sitting on the little beaver or like stacking bags of concrete on top of the bobcat auger. I mean,
just trying to get some more weight to it.
We do actually run into that stuff here and there, but it's not like it.
It is few and far between.
It is very much few and far between.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we out here, man. It's cold. It's cold. I mean, it's warming up surprisingly. The coldest week was just this past week. Now we're getting sun. It's hot in the afternoon. I mean, it's not that bad.
That's good. Yeah. So with your company, what is the size of your operation? Because I know your crew, we'll touch on this later, but I know your crew is just absolutely killing it. What's the size of your operation? Like how many crews, how many trucks, your shop, everything, like what you running?
We're very small. I mean, we seem big, but we very small. Currently, we are running 3 crews. So each crew is made of 3 guys. During the summer, when things start picking up because it's slow right now, it typically gets slow for us from November all the way to like mid-February, early March. And what I mean by that, we keep a consistent 2 to 3 weeks out, and then once it warm up, we 5-6 weeks out. So during the summer, the spring and summer, we do 4 crews where we specifically utilize 1 crew just to install panels, and then that's just 2 guys. The other 3 crews, the other 3 stays with 1 with 4 guys, which is the guys that I used to be with, which we always use it every single day in and day out. So during the winter, that crew is everybody's 3 guys. During the summer, we take a guy from 2 crews and give 1 to the other crew, so that becomes a 4 crew, and then the other 2 goes to just install. They don't dig, they do any of that, and it's just install panels. So it's 3 crews during the winter, which is the same amount of people. 9 people, I believe. Is it 3, 6? No, it's 12. It's 12. And then during the summer, it goes to 4, 3, and 2.
Okay.
I like
And
it. I like
it's always the same
So I heard,
people, same amount of people.
yeah, I heard you have like a designated crew for a vinyl. Does each crew specialize in one type of install, or is it like
No, they
okay?
all do everything. Like I say, just one particular crew, they always set post simply because they so used to it. Even when we say, "Hey, let's go and install this wood," they will pick digging over nailing pickets any given day of the week. So
Okay.
there's one that does not do nothing else other than setting, whether it's winter, summer, spring. The other ones that they switch, sometimes they dig, sometimes they install, sometimes they fabricate. So it goes back and forth between the other 2 crews.
Nice.
I like it.
Nice.
Yeah, and I can definitely I know Billy can attest to this. I should say, with the nailing, holding a nail gun all day long, because you had
I mean,
that
you get
one
used
where you
to
did
it.
like 800 feet or something like that in one day, and your shoulder and arm were like just
Well, that
all
was
day.
Just know
at the end.
Yeah, just numb.
For
At the
that
end of the day,
one-
he's like, I can't feel my arm anymore. Like I'm just going, and it's just doing it.
I also had to use the freaking like heavier nail gun that we have as well.
Oh yeah.
Because
No, that was like
the 2 littler ones weren't shooting right that day, and so I had to use from I don't know. I was almost halfway done when the 2 little ones stopped working correctly,
yeah.
and I was like, God damn, I gotta go get this heavy one. I was like, man, it's the same thing, but I'm gonna feel it later on. And sure enough, I got home and I was like, God, my fucking shoulders are jello.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just I like it. I like it. It can be very repetitive to like some guys, so I see why they like digging because you get a whole bunch of different like scenarios versus just nailing pickups up all day long.
Yeah. There's definitely a different situation for every atmosphere of it, if you're digging and setting and all the rest of that, and putting your rails up, putting your pickets up, yada yada yada. Each step is different, and I think from what I've seen, like kind of everybody has their bread and butter of what they like.
Yeah.
And let's say VV's is vinyl, right?
No, man, I like anything that makes money.
I bet
Yes,
you do,
sir.
baby. I bet you do.
Anything that
sir.
makes money. It's just here in Salt Lake, the market is vinyl. Like, you go to neighborhoods and it's vinyl. HOA, it's vinyl. There's one single HOA city that requires wood, but everybody else, as far as new communities, new HOAs, stuff like that, it's always going to be vinyl. And that's why we do a lot of vinyl, simply because we do a lot of new construction, and it's what they want. The HOA wants the known maintenance type of fence.
Yeah, right. It's like damn near the complete opposite here in Florida.
Yep.
That's
just how it works.
Our main thing here down in Florida is wood, and I wish our main thing here in Florida was vinyl, because that'd be rad.
No, dude, it'd be great, but
and like putting them things together, like building Legos.
Unfortunately,
it's just it's fun. It's easy. It's a beautiful fence. But I do wish there was more vinyl and aluminum down here than there is. But it's predominantly privacy fence, like just wooden privacy, just the standard dog ears and all the rest.
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Basic.
All right, so give us a rundown of a normal day at All Over Fence.
Well, normal day, we open up shop at 7. We open up. I mean, it opens up. We just did our automation about 6 months ago. So before I had to go and open and stuff like that. Now it's all automatic. It opens up about 10 minutes prior. Guys get in. They just get in their truck and leave. The gate stays open from 6:50 to about 7:30, and then it shuts off again, and the office people arrives at 8. So the guys come and they leave on their own. They come in the day before, they load up their trucks, they get all the paperwork on their trucks, put it on their folders, and 80% of the time happens like that, unless they arrive late the day before, then they just took off. But typically, they get at the shop at a good hour where they can still load up and get ready for the next day. So the next day, they just arrive, get in their truck, and they leave.
Nice.
So they go off, they go off. Like I say, right now, we're running 3 crews. They go off on their designated jobs. I arrive at about 8:30, and I be starting doing quotes, calling people, stuff like that. The office people, they just answering phone calls, which is 2 ladies. It's gonna be my sister and another lady named Chantry. She's the front desk. My sister does all the accounting, closing, invoices, calling people for payment, or if the guys drop off checks from the jobs prior, she closed the job and do everything in job nimbus that needs to be done as far as that goes. And every now and then, I mean, as you know, nobody runs a perfect outfit as much as we want it to be perfect. Sometimes we get calls like, hey, so we missing this or that. So either me or Hollywood, which is the other sales guy, since we're just running around doing quotes on the office, sometimes we bring a post that is missing or this or that. Doesn't happen often, but it does happen to where we have to run a post. We have to run something that they forgot or something like that. Shop guys are fabricating gates day in and day out. So there's one welder that is fabricating gates the entire time that he's there. They fabricate gates for our jobs, and we also do resell to the one guy in a truck. So we do resell a lot to guys that they not buying directly from a fence supplier company. So there's practically a day in all of fence. People come in, they leave on their own. Office people arrive about 30 minutes, 45 minutes after they leave. We got some drive-ins that come in and purchase materials, pick up gates, pick up materials. We get every once in a while people just going in to see if we have a showroom to look at samples. People that, hey, we want to see if you guys have a sample that we can put right next to our house or things like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Do
you guys have a showroom? Do you have a showroom?
We don't have necessarily a showroom. We actually have a display outside on the outside of the property with colors, and then on the inside, once you approach the door to get into the shop, we also put a mini display of like a 3-foot high fence with all the different colors and excuse me, with the postmasters, wood, like all of that. So not inside, it's not an indoor showroom, but they can go in and okay, so this is what it looks like, this is how it's made or put together. And
Nice.
Every once in a while somebody wants to take a small piece of panel so that it can put right next to the stucco or their siding, things like that.
See how that color matches up and whatever it might be. Yeah. You guys sound like you got it like from what it looks like online and from what it sounds like with talking to you, you guys kind of have it, put together.
Pretty much dialed in over there.
Yeah, pretty dialed in. Obviously, everybody's gonna have some little hiccups here and there where either you're short on materials or, something happens on
That's
the
just human
side, or
nature at
like,
the end of the day.
this board is warped or this thing broken in shipping or whatever. Like, things happen, and that is what it is, and everybody runs into a little, hiccup here and there. So that's no big deal. We all have that. But you guys sound like you have it really dialed in. And obviously there's a lot that goes into making sure that it's dialed in. And I'm sure, especially with how many years you've put into this and building your brand, if you will, bringing on new people, obviously it's going to be a culture shock to somebody coming into, this very well-oiled machine, especially if they've been in fencing before. Because I've talked to a lot of people in fencing. I was actually just blown away. Absolutely blown away the other day. I was at Winn-Dixie and I was shopping, and this guy, I'm in the produce section. I had just pulled into Winn-Dixie. I got my wife and my son with me. We're looking at like tomatoes and shit, and this guy's like, gatekeepers? I'm like, what the fuck? What?
Yes,
Somebody
sir.
knows who I am? Like, this is wild.
It happens,
and
man.
that was just like completely surreal to me. But obviously, I was talking to this gentleman, and I was telling him, I was like, yeah, VV's going to be in the podcast. He's like, no shit. Like, that's dope. Like, VV is VV. Like, we all know you. And there obviously comes a standard to what you produce, because Jesus, is it top tier A1? Everything you do is excellent. Everybody in your company does is great. I see all the pictures. I see all the quality. Like, it's wonderful. And the timing, and you can vouch for this. I messaged you and I was like, how the hell do you pump these out that fast? Like, how do you do this? There's obviously a lot of training that goes involved to making this all happen. When you bring somebody on, kind of what's your training process for bringing on these people and introducing this culture to them that you have created? Because you are a big leader in the culture of fencing, whether you like it or not. But your work is a plus all the way around. Your speed and efficiency is unheard of. Like, I don't know how you fabricate gates and stuff like that as fast as you do. And that's what I do. And I reached out to you about that. But how do you train your employees, like starting them up from, first day to getting them to be part of this well-oiled machine that you guys run?
So most of the people that work with us are known, like I know them since my childhood. We grow up together, we play together, and essentially they just wanna be part of it. They just wanna be a part of it. So imagine having this thing that where we come from, where we all come from, everybody that works here, it's a very, very small town. We're talking about 3 streets, maybe 1,500 people. Everybody knows everybody. Very, very rural, very, very small. And to see what we have done, and then they come here and they make good money and they build their houses, they do this, they do that. It's nothing but pride. And they also, like, they treat us well, they paid us good, and it's no nothing to be like they just go and work practically. You know that they know it's for us, somebody that they know. They know that we are going to help them as well. And at the end of the day, everybody wins. As far as how we get people started, it's like we let them know we're gonna put you on the field with this crew for a month, and if you like it, then you stay with that crew. Because essentially, the way that I want to do it, I want to do repetitive stuff. Once somebody does something, it just naturally becomes natural. I always say it like there's ways to do things, like even to dig out a rock, there's an easier way and a harder way to do it. And you start doing that every day, every single day, day in and day out. It's like you see a rocky Japanese guy, easy, like we know how to deal with that, versus doing installs, sets, this, that. It's like I feel like people start cherry picking like what they wanna do. Like, oh, I'd rather do this or I'd rather do that. But if it's the same thing every single day, it is the same thing every single day. If you do
Right.
not become efficient or better at what you're doing every single day, then I don't know what's wrong with you because it's the same thing. It is the same thing. And I always say it's all about mindset, and I do preach it. I do it like I don't expect my guys to go and do something that I'm not capable of doing, and I always bring the receipts when they say, oh, that's a lot. Oh, really? Like, look, we did this and we did that, and it's possible. It's you just gotta go in with the right mindset. It's gonna get done, and it's gonna be easy, and we're gonna be home by 4. And as long as I feel like as long as everybody going in with that mindset, it's like you don't even complain about the rocks. Because I'm telling you, it's freaking rocky in here. It's so some days are tough.
Right.
But
as with everything.
but as far as training, it's like, hey, we're gonna try it, and if you like it, you'll stay. If you're not, then you can move on to something else. And then they start forming bonds. Like everybody has a nickname, and that may be a part of the culture. That like you're so close to that person that you feel comfortable joking around, playing around, and it's not even there. Nobody refer to each other by their birth name. It's always a nickname that they in within themselves gave to each other, which is silly.
You leave the.
I mean,
the
that
realm
just
of
sounds like a
coworkers.
family mentality at the end of the day.
That's what I'm gonna say. Is you leave the realm of coworkers and you enter into the realm of family, like where like when a well-oiled machine is well-oiled and working, running, and doing what it should be in terms of business wise. Every company I've worked for that's working how it should and at its prime and at its best pace, it doesn't feel like work. It never feels like work. It feels like, yo, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends for a little bit.
Yep. I'm gonna go hang out with the boys and
I'm gonna go
put
hang
the
out
foot on the ground.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go hang out with the boys and like get paid for it.
Yeah.
Like this is wild.
Yeah.
I'm not working anymore. I'm hanging out with the homies. Like it's. And it sounds exactly like that. How that is what you guys have there is like, I'm not working. I'm hanging out with
hanging out.
I'm hanging out with my crew. Like we're getting things done. We're
setting the grill up, making
you might as well
some
have
carne asada at the job site.
Yeah, you might as well have a barbecue out there because like it's the same mentality.
Where's the microwave at? Where's the microwave that you got so much shit for?
And when everybody's like, but when everybody's on that page, it's like, yo, we're chill. Like,
Oh, dude, it's great.
I know I have this, and this to do, and I know it needs to be done by this standard, but I'm going to do that because I want to, not because I have to. And when you have somebody there that's, I want to do it to this because I want to, not because I have to, you really truly get so much better results.
Absolutely.
And
Right.
I mean, we see it in your work, dude. Like,
Your
y'all are
work's
killing
great,
it.
bro. Always great.
Yeah.
All right, let's get
Speaking of that,
let's get into a little bit of some VV install methods, because you do things a lot differently than people. Speaking of efficiency, that we were just on, you don't have to give us the whole secret
Yours.
book. Just just give us a couple things that you do differently, because it blows my mind daily to see your posts like, oh yeah, this 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. we set 100 posts. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how is
So
that possible?
couple things that I think that it did change a lot on our production was just loading up in the morning. Like that, it's such a fast skill and a lot of wasted time. And if you truly think about it from a business perspective, it's like, and even though like we just spoke, they happy to be here, they happy to have a job, they happy to be part of the company and everything, but we all humans, in the morning we tired, we're like, oh, just dragging. I mean, I get it, 20 years old, even up to when I was like 30 years old, like I was just like I was on cocaine. Just go, 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 go every single hour of the day. As I get older, I notice that me myself, I'm dragging in the morning. And I know that everybody that works for me, they like the same thing. They just kind of get in the groove of, okay, with this is what we're gonna do. And so loading up, and I noticed that when they loading up in the morning, they can take up to an hour and a half just loading up, even though the material is full. They just need to put it in the trailer, tied up, get their concrete or gates, whatever that they do, and if they installing, it takes them a great deal of time in the morning to load up versus when they got back, they want to load up and go home. Like they so quick to load up in the afternoon versus loading up in the morning. And then it starts from there. Like, okay, we're dragging, we need coffee, we need to stop at the gas station, this, that. Next thing you know, it's been 2 hours and a half before they even got to the first job if they loading up in the morning. Versus if you load up in the morning, you showed up, you're like, we loaded, we're gonna go and kick ass, and you don't even stop at the gas station. It's like we're ready to go. We're gonna jump on the truck, get to the first job, get to the second job, get back home. So one thing that I noticed and I will recommend is load up in the afternoon, because like you will see a huge change. Also, if you take lunch, I also noticed that from the morning to the lunchtime is when you do the absolute most. After you eat, same thing, you're like tired, you got the food was heavy or whatever, and you're sleepy or this or that. And from the lunch to the after hours, it's not much production to be achieved or that it can be achieved.
Yeah, I call that the itis. Like once you eat, you get the itis, and you just lethargic and slow until that food digests.
Yeah. So that will be the first thing. Load up in the morning. Load up at night in the afternoon before you go home, because the guys will be so quick. Like load it, strap it, done. Like they go through the paperwork, do a little. I always tell them to to minimize the callbacks. Hey, we need this, we missing that. Go through your paperwork. We'll put everything on the paperwork. Are you gonna need a cord drill? Do you need a generator? Do you need this? Do you need that? Like everything is checked off. And sometimes this used to happen a lot. The gate metals. We were always missing gate metals. Like the posts were pulled and the metals were in pull, so we just load up and leave and like, oh, we need the gate metals. And then we took that, like, go through your paperwork, read it, just quickly count 4 corners, 38 posts, 2 gates, I need 2 metals, this, that. But once you on site, once you arrive, same thing, repetitive stuff. When I was on the field, my job was to drive, park, go knock on the door, walk the property with the homeowner. Hey, so we're here, we're gonna do this. This is what my paperwork. Gates start here, okay, here, front corner of the house, gas in, gas out, electrical, just quickly, just a quick, this is what I have, this is what you want. And every single time before I jump off the truck, even though they knew what they needed to be done, it's like, Juan, get the machine untied. Don, get a wheelbarrow, get the stakes and the string. He puts all the stakes and the string and the paint on a wheelbarrow. And then I told the other guy, remember, it's 4 of us. The other guy, get all the tools down, diggers, flat bars, and bring your diggers. So he will just quickly jump on a truck, grab a pair of diggers, and we always hand dig the stuff right next to the house, always.
Same.
So I just quickly, in corner of the house, homeowner say yes, mark it, he start punching those holes. And literally in the time that I just go around, they already set the 2 posts right against the house. Juan has the machine. They go into the property pins and just run in a string. Literally by the time I'm done talking to the homeowner, which takes 5 to 10 minutes at the most, they already waiting on me with the string run, and I'm just gonna lay out the job. I lay it, and Juan is right behind us on the machine already punching holes. So it's always, know what they need to do, and like I say, repetitive
Basically,
stuff.
everybody knows their roles then.
Yeah.
Everybody knows the job they have to do as soon as they pull
Yeah.
up on the job site, and it gets
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, sir.
That is-
It's wild to think, because a lot of people don't think about this. It's like, we're gonna get to the job site, we're gonna smoke a cigarette, we're gonna wait until the lead guy speaks with the homeowner, we're gonna wait on the lead guy until he tells us start here and here. But I made it repetitive. Like, you get in the diggers, I'm talking to the client, you get in the string, you get in the machine of the truck and get it ready, so that when we're done, everything it's just keep going.
Yeah.
Everybody's just behind
Yeah.
the person that they're supposed to be behind.
Everybody,
And
it's almost at this point like ingrained in your memory.
Mhm.
Like the second that truck goes into park, I hop out and I start my roll. Whatever my roll
Right.
is here. It's like a NASCAR pit stop. Like you pull
There
up,
you go.
it's a NASCAR pit stop of fencing. It's like, because in NASCAR they pull up, just pull the wheels off. You got one guy for wheels, one guy for lug nuts, one guy for gas, one guy for everything else, and they're just in and out as quick as you can because seconds matter in that. And in fencing, in all reality, every second matters, and you guys go to show for that. And one thing I'm more interested in is, I even reached out to you about this, like personally on the side, for the fabrication side of things. You, after that conversation with you, so I went from 30-foot cantilever gate. I had 2 of them to make. I did one and it took me what, like
Like
the first one?
the first one or the second one?
The first one.
The first one was like
I think it was
16 hours.
Yeah. The first one was like 16 hours. I had one conversation with you through Facebook Messenger, and the very next one went down to 8 hours. And
half the time,
like literally half the time. And this is like, and it was just wild. And it's just me. I don't have like a whole crew of like people doing all this and that and this and that. When I'm making things, it's, fast fabrication. Like this, I just make crap. And it's just me making it. How did you get into making them? I still don't understand how you knock these things out in use it 3 hours for a 30 foot.
Yeah, we had two welders, so we had two welders.
And the two welders, it definitely cuts your time significantly down. But in the terms of fabrication, the business I'm in, what's your process of making that quick, efficient, everything else? Basically what we talked about before in the messages.
So I always say this, and I leave it, and people that work with me will tell you the same thing. Equipment, tools, you do not hesitate buying things that are gonna, one, make your life easier. Number two, make the job go a lot faster, because at the end of the day, without equipment, I always looked at it, it's either man hours that I had to pay, or it's equipment that I had to pay in
One
man
time.
hours. It makes absolutely no sense for companies or business owners to be like, hey, I don't really want to buy a machine. We don't need it. And the time that I bought one, and I was just like them, I was so stubborn. I was using Little Beaver, and the machine parked for like 6 months until I got to like, I had to use it. Because my holes were completely off. Like I was shit at digging. They were not accurate at all. And with the Beaver, you like goes and very accurate because you like right there, right? But anyways, going back to the tables, like spending the time of building a jig or a table that for the cantilever gates that rotate, that once we lay it down, we're not flipping it. We're not like, hey, give me a hand, let me flip this or do that. We simply take a bolt out and it rotates, and it's well. It's a
so then you basically have a rotisserie gate frame jig then.
Yeah. No, he sent me pictures of it. It's rad.
Oh, that's cool shit. I didn't know that.
It's rad. It's like, imagine two sawhorses on either end, and just like a pivoting, just the thing sits in there, and it just
that's cool,
rotates.
man.
So you could tilt it this way and weld this side, and then just boom and weld the other side. It is rad, and I'm very jealous.
So for that, really cool. Think about being on the floor, being on your knees, like you're always on a comfortable position, standing up, and you're just moving along. So once you take that into consideration, bending down, you're like, man, my knees hurt. Well, I burned my knee because that shit happens.
Every pair of pants I own has little like dot holes from the MIG spatter on the knees. Every single pair I own has that. Right. Even shorts, like they all have little tiny spatters of like burn holes in them. I fully feel that.
And it's just tools, having the equipment that you need, kind of like when you're doing you cross braces. You can try to cut it on a 45, and without having it sandwiched together, you have to do a lot of filling. So we take
Yeah.
that away by just having the press that pipe flat, and it's like so flat. We'll fit it. We cut it in the right angle, and it's an easy weld. You're not feeling anything. You're not spending a minute just filling up that big old gap that you created with the cross pieces.
That's one of my that's one of my most time consuming things is coping round stop. So fitting that that curve in there, if you've got two round objects at an angle, it's
a big old gap.
Trying to cope that is one of the longest processes of doing what I do. And like when you showed me the machine you guys have with like smashing it, I was like, oh shit, I could be doing this so much easier. I could be doing this so much quicker.
Yeah.
And with doing that, where you guys smash it, have you have any issues with like does it cause any structural problems? Does it cause any problems long term? You've been doing this a lot longer than I've
been doing this for as long as I can remember. We didn't have an iron worker back then. So what we did back then, we have, those things that and I think it's still at my brother's house. We put a jack, one jack, and we welded two plates, and essentially we did that manually with a normal jack, where we
just a regular car jack.
Yeah. We just built it a big old plate on top, and then one on the actual jack. We put the pipe in there, and then we smashed it with a jack.
I love it.
When you don't have a iron worker. And I mean, I not gonna say that I drive through the gates that I did 20 years ago, but I did drive, see them, 5 years into them, 7 years into them, no problems. So I don't think that you're gonna have a problem, because having.
I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's a fence. We're not like building Eiffel Tower or anything like that you gotta like worry about crazy structural whatever. It's a lot less than structural engineering. Like it's a fence at the end of the day. If it can hold up,
it is.
Billy has had to ingrain this in my brain because
you also like to overcomplicate things, and I'm like, look,
I went to school for mechanical engineering.
Yeah, I know, but like I know
what
all
I've
of
been
us
trained to do.
Like fence guys like glorify fences, but at the end of the day, it's a fence.
Exactly.
Like the rest of the population, there's a very small amount that actually care about it, but the most of them couldn't give a shit less. As long as it keeps their dogs in, keeps their neighbors from looking inside, they don't give a fuck what it looks like.
Yeah, no, that's
and it's proven when you drive around town and you're like, God, that is a terrible fence.
But somebody still paid for it.
But somebody still paid for it. Somebody's still happy because they don't
somebody
care.
Made money off of that.
All they care about is my neighbors can't see in and the dogs can't get out.
Yeah,
and that's done. That's why I do try to preach to you at the end of the day, like it's a fence.
It's a fence.
Let's not overcomplicate this to the point to where.
But at the same time, there is a good fence and there is a bad fence.
Absolutely.
You can have the truck in the truck and the basic, like, shoddy fence work, whatever. And then you can have, the VV fence. And there is a difference. There definitely is a difference. But at the end of the day, it is a fence.
Yeah.
As long as it holds, as long as it stays, it's solid. And it's something that, like, I'm just now getting accustomed to because, again, like, dude, I went to school for mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
And you know how many, like, regulations are on that shit?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Way crazier than a fence. You have to have, like, a 70%, like, if this fails here, that needs to be your 30%.
Right.
And you need to have a 70% buffer on strength.
Absolutely.
For damn near everything you do. With that, because lawsuits. Like we're in America and everybody loves to sue everybody. And like when you're creating a product, it's a little different. Offenses just keep the dogs in.
Heck
just keep your neighbors from seeing it.
It's a paycheck at the end of the day, baby.
It's a weird thing to like look at.
It's a paycheck.
It's a paycheck, baby.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
but
man.
at the same time, you can make that paycheck beautiful as hell. Like,
right.
You can make it look good and you can make a customer happy. And at the end of the day, you make somebody happy and they will tell it like all their friends, all their neighbors, and your work speaks for yourself. And at the end of the day, like it is what it is. We know the good, we know the bad. You want what's in your price range and you get what you pay for when it does come to fencing. So if your quality speaks for itself, you can have that premium because we do build quality, excellent items. Like
hell yeah.
Whether it be your gate fabrication or your installs, I have not seen a single thing that you have posted, and maybe you may only be sharing the best. Who knows?
Come on, man! I go live, like, hey, dude, this is what we're doing. This is the end
everything I've seen that you've done is like, oh my god!
All right, well, let's go ahead and Vivi, drop your what is your TikTok? The True Fence King, right?
It is the True Fence King 123.
123. Yeah. He has a lot of stuff on there.
Oh my god. I can't type it all.
Mostly unprofessional stuff, you know me.
It is what it is though.
Yeah. Man, that's fun.
But
all one word, the True Fence King 123?
123, yeah.
There we go.
Perfect.
Boom.
If you wanna I'm gonna
go find them on TikTok.
Yeah, way out there, man. But yeah, man, we can just go back to that, load up in the morning, repetitive stuff, and give you crews what and everything that they could possibly need to get the job done.
Yeah, set the blueprint so they know what they're doing.
Set them up for success, baby.
Set them up for success and just watch success happen.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Hell yeah.
And one of the things that you did mention earlier that really truly spoke to me was the if it makes the job faster or easier, it's worth it.
Absolutely is.
And that's one thing that my cheap ass has like really hard time grasping, because like I grew up, not the best out, but like I don't want to spend money on anything. And then if something does make sense to spend money on, if it makes the job faster, that means you can make more money on it, because the job costs the same amount that the job costs. And if you can make more money on it by doing it faster or more efficiently, that's worth it. It pays for itself. In the end, at the end of the day, it pays for itself. And efficiency is really how you make money in this industry. Especially, it's I can spend. We had one that like I forgot exactly which fence it was, but they said like the previous dude took something like 9 weeks to build the fence on this property, which is insane because it was less than an acre, and the fence looked like shit. Oh, it's the Shadowmark one.
Oh yeah,
you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The homeowner said it took 9 weeks to build this fence, and it looks terrible. And it is what it is. But like 9 weeks to build that.
It's a long time.
That's a long time, boy. That's a
It's
whole
a
lot of
long
paychecks,
time.
baby.
That's
a whole lot of paychecks
that's
to pay out for
so much time
for a single backyard.
For like what, a half an acre? Not even. Like it's a third of an acre, maybe. Like that's a lot of time to spend on a fence. And the amount of fence you're building is the amount of fence you're building, and that's what you're getting paid for.
You're getting paid for you.
And if I can finish that project in a day, or I can finish that project in, let's say, the extreme, the 9 weeks, I'm still getting paid the same amount.
The same amount.
Hell yeah.
And at the end of the day, that like, if I can spend $500 on one tool, and that takes a day off of my labor for one job alone, it's worth it.
That shit gonna,
yes, sir.
Gonna make
like,
you money.
Even if it takes like an hour off of every job from here on out, $500 is worth it, because what's your labor cost? You got 4 guys.
Right.
Let's say, for easy math, you have 4 guys at $25 an hour. If you take an hour off, it pays itself off in 5 days if it's $500. And from there on out, after that, you're now profiting $100 a day because of spending that $500 one time on a tool that makes every job save an hour. And that's like, that is very, very big, because efficiency, it may look like, oh, I have to buy this expensive thing. But
efficiency makes or breaks you.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
I mean, efficiency makes or breaks you.
I guess that's what I'm getting at. Yeah. Man.
Yeah. Well,
That's
BB,
right.
we have hit our time limit, man. I very much appreciate you coming on. You got any last words for the listeners, for the viewers, anything like that?
No, man. We're out here. We're gonna be in Idaho this coming year, so stay tuned. We're still not done.
I saw that.
We're gonna have a second location, and hopefully it doesn't kill us, because I'm just struggling with like, who's gonna go around that.
Yep.
But we'll figure it out, man. We're very blessed. I appreciate all the love.
You got this.
A lot of people reach out for simple advice, and I hope that I give the best advice. I always tell them, hey, the most unprofessional person to be asking for advice, but if you're looking for production and what works for me, this is what works for me. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody that reached out, and I cannot say every single person's name because it's a lot, but I do appreciate it when people say, hey, I look up to you. Hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? What are you doing on this? How do you approach this? And I mean, it just feels good, man, to know that some people out there rooling for you, even though you have never even met him. And it's also good to know that
it's a great feeling.
It's wild.
You know, that they reach out for advice. Like, hey, this works for me, and I always say, this is what works for me. I mean, it may work for you, may not work for you at your area, but this is what we're doing, and it's working for us. So, like I say, thank you for all the love. Thank you for having me. And
absolutely, man. Anytime,
dude. Thank you.
We out here.
Thank you for joining us. And like, not even thank us for having you. Like, thank you for joining us.
It
is
absolutely.
Definitely a pleasure.
It's a pleasure, man.
We've had a very good run of like people on the show.
Nice.
From Brian Fredrickson with FWA, the shirt you're wearing right now.
Yeah.
And
Fences with attitude, right?
Fences with attitude. I remember when that started.
There we go, baby.
Yeah.
But we are absolutely blessed, and not only thank you, Vivi, but thank you everybody who has been on the show. We couldn't do it without you guys. Like, these big people in the community, in the fencing community, in the fencing world, it still is wild to me that we're sitting in my spare bedroom right now. And I was at Winn-Dixie yesterday, and somebody stopped me and said, "Gatekeepers?" And I was like,
This mug
"What
called
the
me.
fuck?"
That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow.
This mug called me. He said, "Bro, somebody just recognized me from the podcast." I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "I've never had that happen before."
I'm
I
in
was like, "I've
Winn-Dixie.
never met this person. Couldn't tell you who they look like." And I was like,
It like shocked me. And I know you're probably watching, and I feel bad for forgetting the name. I was just in so much shock. I was like, I've never had somebody approach me like in public. Like, it's so weird to me
it was funny when you
that
called
like
me.
somebody knows me. And we were talking, and I even said, I was like, "Yo, Vivi is gonna be on soon," and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited for the episode!" And like, I'd love to see like you interview him. It's like, this is so surreal. Like this.
You didn't even get his name either, man.
No, I
Oh,
got his
come
name,
on,
and I was
man.
talking to him, but then like the second the conversation ended, I was like, was I just in a dream?
Right.
Like
He
somebody
was in
actually.
shock.
Dude, I was
This is real.
100% in shock. It took me like 30 minutes to text you, by the way.
Yeah.
It like I had to process that through the entire grocery run, and my wife is like, "We need to get this." I was like, "What do we need to get again? Like, what is the grocery list?" Because somebody just randomly stopped me and was like, "Gatekeepers." I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like,
Hell
this
yeah,
is
man.
so wild. And we couldn't do this without, all these great people and all these great people for the interviews on our show, and as well as the viewers and listeners tuning in, and it's awesome.
Yes, it
This
is.
is
Awesome.
super cool.
All right.
we
Well,
are happy to have you here, buddy.
with that said,
Thank you.
brother, thank you for coming on. We'll be in touch. Like we normally are, like once every
Yeah.
other month or something. You'll call me about
Yes,
something. I'll
sir.
call you about something.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, stay warm up there and
Will do.
keep on
Yeah.
doing your damn thing, man.
Yeah.
All right,
Keep on
man.
killing it,
Well,
buddy.
again, thank you for having me. You guys
Thank
have a
you,
good night.
sir. You're amazing.
right.
We'll see you next time. All right.
Take it easy,
All
baby.
right. Bye-bye, sir.
That was fun.
Oh, it's good.
That was
That
fun,
good.
brother.
I'm glad we had him on. And again, not just with him, just with like everything. It's still blowing my mind that like, bro, it's.
I remember the first time I was in some store, either Winn-Dixie or Walmart, and I was with my wife and my kids, or either my wife or
Yeah.
somebody. It was maybe just my wife. And this was after I had been going live on Facebooks and stuff like that. And someone was like, "Hey, you're Billy Grove from Gentry Farmhouse, right?" I was like, yeah, I am. And they were like, "I've seen all of your live videos." I was like, "Oh, all right. No, I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome.
It's like
All
borderline,
right.
like, do I have a stalker?
You don't
Or
really
do I
know
have
what
a
to
fan?
you don't really know
It's-
what to say at that point. You're just kind of like, all right, well, thank you. And they're like, they're like, "Oh, you're so great," or "This was funny," or "This moment was funny." It's cool.
And it was weird because it's like the internet is like, oh, there's stalkers and whatever and yada yada. And I'm like, oh, you can have legitimate like fans,
Yeah, absolutely.
and that was so cool.
Hell yeah.
It was the first time that's ever happened to me.
Well, if you're watching and you were the one that stopped
Yes.
Dan, drop a comment.
Drop a comment.
Tell us who you were, because I kept asking him. I even was like getting like screenshot
I was
pictures. I thought it was. I was like,
entirely
was it this
shocked.
person? Was it this person? It's like, I don't even know, dude.
Bro,
I couldn't even tell you.
The second the interaction ended, I forgot damn near the entire interaction, and I was just like,
Man, you were in,
dude, I
you
had
were in
somebody-
real shock, huh?
I had somebody like recognize me in public, and that's so weird to me. Like,
That's hilarious.
I was just like, oh shit, I should probably not like be drunk in public from here on out.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, we should probably not do that.
There we go. Punk and Drublick.
Yeah, Punk and Drublick.
No effects, baby.
Hey. We're gonna actually hit the comment section before we end the show.
All right, we got
And,
Zach record. Hey
Mr.
man,
Cordry.
if you're still watching, bro, I got your voicemail. I just have been too busy to I'm gonna call you back. Sorry. So sorry.
Hey man, Zach, if you called me, I would have answered.
Yeah.
Screw Billy.
Yeah.
He doesn't listen to anybody.
It is what it is.
Jokes aside, we had a great episode with you, Cordry. All right, Mr. Cordry. But yeah. Yeah.
Well, Dan,
No worries.
you want to go ahead and take us out then?
Hey, dude. Before we take it out, mugs.
We got the mugs.
We got the
We both
shirts.
have mugs.
Yeah.
Oh,
We got hoodies.
wrong way.
We got everything.
Yeah,
And we did just drop a bunch of merch.
my reel of stickers is way over there, or else I'd grab it.
So our main goal, and the reason I'm bringing this up right now, is we are trying to hit 500 by February because everything is starts with an F, so it's cool. It's all the same letter, but 500 followers by February on Facebook.
A little tongue twister.
Yeah, it's a tongue twister indeed.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a bunch that fits in the cup perfect.
Heck yeah, it does. So basically, if we hit 500 followers by February, we're gonna take what 50 names and put them in a hat, or we're gonna take all of our followers'
metaphorical
names.
hat. Yeah, we'll have all the followers' names,
And we're gonna pick 50 people, and we're gonna send
we're
you
gonna
a
have
sticker for
the
free.
internet do that for us because there's
We're
apps
gonna
for that.
have AI do it for us.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
send you one of these cool stickers for free.
I've been putting them on everything. They finally came in, and I am super ecstatic with them. I have them on my car, on my bike, and
Oh, you see
I'm
your
just-
fingers. There
Jesus.
we go. Green screen.
Oh, there
Green
we go.
screen
There we go.
action. You got to get some
There we
skin
go.
behind it. Get
Yeah.
some skin behind it.
I've got one on the back of my phone. They're rad. They're waterproof. They're entirely element proof.
If you
cool.
see me out and about at Winn-Dixie, I got you.
Yeah,
Alright.
I got a whole stack of them in my wallet now. After that interaction, I was like,
Oh man,
But-
it's all good.
I got them with me. Yeah, they're cool. But
Heck
we're gonna
yeah.
be sending them out for free.
Yep.
Like, a whole bunch of stickers. We got
50 people get them for free.
Yeah.
So all it takes is just
long-
follow. As long as you follow, your name gets put in the hat.
Yep.
And then at the end of February, if we have 500 followers, we're gonna have an AI app take 50 names, and we're
it's
gonna
truly
draw 'em.
random.
and then all you have to do is just answer your message and just give us your address. I'm trying to say that as creepy as possible. And we will send you
No.
one of these cool stickers for free. No charge to you.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, go to the merch store, get yourself a shirt, get yourself a hat, tank top,
Right there.
beer mug, a sweatshirt.
We've got it all.
That
Gatekeeper podcast.
that shirt right there that our background is tonight is
Oh, no.
my favorite so far.
That is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we got two different floral prints. Coming to you from Florida, we had to do the tourist vibes. We got two different floral prints. We've got some new hoodies, tank tops, and the new Cubatron. I think that's what I'm gonna name it now.
Cubatron.
Cubatron.
Well,
That print. But anyways, for everything regarding us, you can go to the gatekeeperpodcast.com. And other than that, when it comes to your fences, man,
Take us
build 'em
away, my boy.
Strong. Build them straight and build them sturdy.
woo! And we out.
and banging, brother. We've been hanging and banging. We've been hanging. We've been hanging. We've been hanging and banging, brother.